a stretch of Astoria Boulevard that I haven't been up here in a long time. I forgot how much illegal dumping goes on, although I've already passed most of that. Just passed like a dozen air conditioners and a bunch of televisions. People just dumped to the curb, knowing full well that they're supposed to be disposed of in a particular ways. You've got the parkway here, which creates this continuous swirl of noise, or a din of traffic noise. And up ahead, on the other side, will be St. Michael's Cemetery. The fall stuff is really like pouring it on this year. The fall leaves. And it was probably a lot thicker than this before. Yeah, that big structure there. That's not like an office building or an apartment building. It's the big columbarium. It's a hotel for the dead. I like to call them glorified morgues, because that's really all the hell they are. The clouds are amazing today. I slept way too late, and that's not a good thing. It's gonna mess up my Monday. And I don't like my Mondays messy. But I guess I needed the sleep. Anyway, I have it on a pretty reliable source that there's something interesting up ahead. At the base of the pedestrian crosswalk, at least I think that's where it is. There's a pedestrian crosswalk up ahead at, I think it's 73rd Street. Man, look at those clouds. It's beautiful, but it's like they're violent. A violent beauty. Oh yeah, I remember this strange little set of steps. This looks like one of those things the community contributed to. They all got together and said, we need a set of stairs here. Yeah, so that's the cemetery. And that big structure is the columbarium. If you step in there, you'll hear Gregorian chant or something similar. It's actually pretty beautiful inside. Maybe I'll go back in there again. I haven't been through cemeteries in a while. I didn't give up on them altogether, but I did give up on photographing or documenting them. Because guess what? They are private property. And many of them have strict rules forbidding photography on the grounds. It's not like that's just some power trip they have. We really don't want to accidentally make video of a burial service in progress with grieving people. seem, I've always thought since the first time I started doing it that it was a little bit exploitative to be seizing these people's record, to be seizing these people's only evidence of existence and using it for my purposes. So are they coming this way or what? Making a lot of noise. There they are. My battery's about to run out, so before I swap in a new one, let's just stop on something positive. Oh, there's the truck again. An alright guy, crypto-fascist. The old airline diner. They left the old sign up. It's now Jackson Hole, and it's a very tight space in there. I've never been in there without feeling claustrophobic. I believe some scenes from The Sopranos were filmed here, and I know there used to be a payphone in that little foyer, whatever you call it. I took a friend here once, and she thought she had found a unique, Astoria only, mom and pop type diner. Boy, was she disappointed to learn that it's a chain. Westway Motel. My sources tell me there are a couple of working payphones in there, but it's basically, I think that's still being used as a homeless shelter, or it might be a shelter for domestic abuse survivors. You're supposed to call them survivors, not victims. They really, domestic abuse, people really hate it when you call them a victim. You find a cemetery, there's sure to be a florist right across the street. And St. Michael's is no exception. This one has been here since 1889. It's a cool old sign. The letters are all like, they've drifted over time. Drifted up. The O is drifted up at least, and the N doesn't look like the original. Looks like they put the 1889 established thing in much later than 1889. So let's see what we got up ahead. Something interesting and unusual. indeed. I have reliable sources for shit like this. They dumped a couple of grand pianos over here. There was just one, and then a week later there was another one. I don't know which of these came first. That doesn't really matter. That's crazy. The brand has been stripped off of this one. Well, no, not totally. The Aeolian Company, but that's just the... What do you call that anyway? I don't remember my piano parts anymore. The soundboard. Let's see how it sounds. It doesn't. Only the black keys work. And they don't work much either. It's got rained on pretty badly over the last couple of days. Let's see what this one looks like. That's crazy. Who does this? And how do you get away with it? I mean, they have to be doing this in the dark of night. Almost had something going there. That thing's wasted. That's a great visual. Snow white piano in the fall foliage. And there's another piece of it. Let's see if I can tell what brand this one is. Cable. There's so many brands of pianos. Never heard of that one, but that doesn't mean anything. Well, somebody just wanted to turn this into their piano graveyard, and speculation is that there are more of these to come. More pianos to be dumped here. So we'll see. That's pretty cool. That's a pretty neat thing to see. I hate to see a dead piano, but one piano, two piano. Will we soon see three piano more? Is a favorite of mine. It's always filthy. That's a lot of condoms. There was a lot of condoms. Says. I always wonder why they didn't turn this completely into a habit trail tube. Why they left the cover or the roof uncovered. They would never publicize it, but this has got to be a pretty popular suicide destination. why nobody refers to Grand Central Parkway as GCP. You got the FDR, the LIE, the BQE, the RFK. But you never hear GCP. It sounds like an economics term, doesn't it? Gross commercial product, maybe. Nope. Hey, it works. Let's see what happens when I do. I'm curious what happens when I dial 0. I think I tried this before. If you still get operator. Please wait 1 moment. Okay, a couple of beeps and then it went to a dial tone for just a second. Okay, she said CTI Telecom. For English, press 1. I don't really care what happens. It's just a collect call thing. Like they route you to various ways to make a collect call or a third party from the old days. Let's see if we can still get the daily prayer. You can, but it's the where they connect you to a live person. Nope, no dial tone. Trying to remember if that one that works is the one that was working last time I was here.
Next will be the man in Staten Island will be at 2:30. So remind the person to remain in the terminal, but then the person transit or other DOT authorized business. Next will be the man or Staten Island at 2:30.
Well, there you go. One works at least. I'm not going to try to make a call, but and none of these schedule machines have worked for a long time. And forget about these things. these used to work. You could browse the internet at glacially slow speeds, and you'd have to stare at ads the whole time. And I never figured out what the phone handset was for. I think it was intended to be where you would connect with an advertiser. Like you'd see an ad, you'd click it, and you pick up that phone and talk to somebody. But never saw it in action. Never saw any description of what the phone was really there for. That's an action shot. That's how you have to, that's the posture you have to assume if you make a phone call on one of those things. And usually you have to scream. I'm not sure if she's doing that, but it's a quiet area out here, so maybe she doesn't have to. I was pretty far away from that individual, and I misidentified them as a female from far away. That looked like a woman's sandbag and a skirt that he was wearing, but didn't mean anything by it. I'd heard that in some areas, Lower East Side, these things were getting infested with rats, and all the innards are getting chewed out. It's been happening to a lot of cars as well. I mean, that's always happened, but I didn't think the, what do you call it, the pipe was big enough for rats, but I guess rats will go wherever the hell they want. Kind of crazy to imagine this thing just bursting open with rats one day.
A couple of whimsical pieces of artwork, a little rotating a disc over there. The phone booths out here are besides the booking phones. Once upon a time, you used to have silhouettes of people's legs when the flexing what's going down. And hanging sculpture over here. Wall panels turned into artwork.
Well, that was interesting. The tour guide made mention of the phone booths. Hey, why not? I've always hated tour guides. Nothing personal about anybody that does them. I just, or I should say I hate guided tours. So you saw that guy take a picture. If he posts it online, that means my radio card will make another cameo appearance. It's made a few. Oh, it won't. He didn't take the... His picture wasn't of one of the ones that has the card on it. Oh, well. You have to be licensed to be a tour guide. And I know this because I can speak with some experience about hating tour guides because I actually conducted one once. And I really, really hated the experience, but I did make some friends from it, though, so it was all good. I didn't tell anybody how much I hated it. It was a tour guide of what else, right? The payphones in the area of Union Square. I guess that tour guide was interesting. He made the comment that he used to see the silhouettes of people's legs as they made their calls here. okay. Empty bus with a conspicuous quantity of coat hangers. So a question that keeps coming up about these stupid things is, why do they have to be on the ground at all? Why don't they put the antennae up on top of street poles like this, or light poles like that one? Other cities have done it in that manner perfectly effectively. And the answer, I guess, goes back to the original franchise agreement, which requires that these public communication structures, PCSs, provide the ability to make phone calls. I mean, you remember these did replace the payphones, right? So they couldn't, what do you call it? Decapitate, or what's the opposite of decapitate? Deboditate? I don't know. They couldn't just not include the tablet or the phone and all that. So that's why they had to have them on the ground and not in the air, where they more rightfully belong, I would say. So the secret's finally out about these things now that the Times wrote about them. I mean, there's been plenty of ink written about them already, but by, lower profile outlets. And that's one thing they missed in the Times article, by the way, was why do they have to be so big, and why do they have to be on the ground? I think they got why they have to be so big, because that's just the amount of space needed to hold all the 5G antenna hardware, I think. I think the Times article got that, but they didn't touch on, first of all, what a failure LinkNYC has been up until now, and why they couldn't put these things in a more discrete location. And it's also claimed that these are going up in underserved areas above 98th Street, I think, in Manhattan, or 90-something Street. This is not an underserved area. This is Lower Manhattan on, what is this anyway? Pearl Street. I don't think this is an area that is starved for internet access, but maybe that just shows how little I know about the demographics, right? I just had a conversation with a guy who was asking if I shoot automatic or manual. He saw me taking pictures, I guess. And I said it's a mix. I didn't tell him I was doing video today, where I don't really do any manual anything, but anyway, it led to my little story about my career as a professional photographer, where I uploaded a whole bunch of photos to 500px. And I kind of forgot about the fact that they had a royalty program that people would actually buy things. So like years after I uploaded all that stuff, I got a royalty check for 15 cents. So that's how you make money on selling your photos online. 500px. And I'm certain I've documented this one many times. This is on Madison Street. It's behind a gate, so I can't get any closer. It's probably got money on it. I think I used the zoom on this to get in close enough to actually get the number off of it. And did find that it's listed on my website. I did this already. Oh, look at this, it's ringing. Just gonna see what Talk to Me is up to. That's funny. I mean, it was when the lights were flashing, that means the thing was, hello, who's this? Who's Kevin? Ken. My name's Mark. I just saw this payphone. Are you talking on a payphone? Which one? I'm on Houston. Okay. Just hanging out on the Bowery? It's just a beautiful day. I'm out taking pictures and making conversation with strangers. It's a beautiful day. It's my day off, but I slept a little late. And my system is going to hate me for it tomorrow. My inner system, that is.
My muscles.
So, yeah. There's a lot of people out here today. Yeah, I don't know who that was. There's no phone on the Bowery.
Yeah.
I think.
That way?
I wasn't actually planning this, but here I am at 14th Street, Union Square. I'm pretty sure this thing still works. Oh, we have dial tone. Please deposit 50 cents. Now that's what wasn't working before. I put in coins, but it wouldn't recognize them. Yep, it works. This is one of my low volume calls, but well, there you go. My day is now complete. And I'm going home. Oh, actually, look, that's interesting. They changed the number posted on here. I wonder if that means they changed the phone. This looks like the same phone. Yeah, that's the old number. You can barely read it, but I'll have to check my caller ID when I get home, see what it shows. Anyway, someone's actually still taking care of these things, so there's some good news, right?